What's up everyone? I'm your host Brian and I'm here today with a video that I have been itching to make all week. It is Thursday, May 12th, 2022, and I am going to talk about McLaren MSO Lab NFTs. This is a project that I first heard about maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago when news started making the rounds in McLaren-based Facebook groups that I'm in. And everyone wanted to know how you can get a McLaren NFT. It's been a long process, but I've figured it out, and now I've got a lot that I can cover. So this video is probably going to be long with a lot of different topics. Concisely, I will say I think McLaren found the perfect intersection of car enthusiasts and Web 3.0 with this project. I think it's going to be a long-term smashing success. So I'm gonna get into how I personally feel about it, how you can actually go about buying a McLaren NFT, the process that I went through, videos of me actually purchasing my first one through the McLaren NFT launch, as well as purchasing additional on OpenSea. So feel free to use the chapters below to hop around to the topics that interest you. And hate to do it, but this video is going to take a lot of effort. If you like what you see, please consider helping the channel out by liking this video and subscribing. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, let's talk about the project. As I mentioned, I think that this project is the perfect intersection of Web 3.0 and car enthusiasts. And part of the reason I say that is I think that this project is going to appeal to crypto investors, NFT investors, and McLaren diehards, as well as potentially car enthusiasts in general. This project appeals very much to myself because I am a McLaren owner, and ever since I purchased this car behind me back in 2017 or 2018, I have run an Instagram account called McLaren Friends. So I have a web presence around a McLaren community. I think McLaren has gone about executing this project incredibly smartly. A close friend of mine who is in the Web 3.0 space, the other half of the Icy Hot Stuntaz, has said that a lot, if not the majority, of NFT projects end up being rug pulls. Intentional or not, they don't sustain their value. A lot of people know about the smashing successes like the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I think an element that appeals here for myself personally, because prior to this, I did not own any Ethereum-based NFTs, is that McLaren corporate itself is backing this project, and they have a very solid roadmap for how this is going to unfold. This project is roadmapped in the best possible way for it to achieve long-term sustained success. And it begins with McLaren realizing that this NFT launch is just the first step to what they are hoping will be a Web 3.0 presence for them. The launch is limited to 2012 NFTs, which is a significant number because McLaren Automotive launched their first production car, the MP4-12C, that I am sitting in 2012. The launch is invite only to McLaren owners. And this is really interesting because the process that I went through to get this NFT is very telling. I am a McLaren owner, but now, having sold many different models over the better part of a decade, there are a lot more McLaren owners than 2012. So I did not receive an invite directly. I was not surprised I did not get one. And just like many other McLaren owners, I was wondering, how can I participate in this NFT launch? And if I can't, how can I go about getting a McLaren NFT? As luck would have it, my Icy Hot partner in crime actually found a link through one of his contacts for signing up for the initial launch. It doesn't mean that you actually get it, but it gets your name on the list to be vetted. He signed up, I signed up, a lot of his personal contacts signed up. In the end, I was the only one to receive an access code. I can speculate as to why. Having looked at the Discord channel that explained the allocation process, it looks like McLaren really did their due diligence with respect to vetting people that wanted in on this project and making sure they were in fact owners. That was the distinguishing difference among all the people we know that put their name on the list, is I own a McLaren. And in fact, McLaren said that they vetted the invites a number of different ways. First, did any of the contact information cross-reference with existing client databases that they control? That's the reason I believe I was given an access code. They also allowed retailers to put clients on the list. And finally, if you didn't get an invite from either of those two means, you could have joined the Discord channel and asked that you be personally vetted. And if they did, they would have given you an access code. So I had a code and I prepared for the launch the night before with my friend who is well versed in this stuff, which I was not. Preparation. It's not that complicated. If you're familiar with this, it becomes very easy to use and seamless. If you're not, I would say first step is get an Ethereum-based wallet. I used MetaMask. It is free and it integrates nicely with web browsers. I used Firefox. You need this to be able to store the Ethereum you're going to pay for the NFT with and to receive and store the NFT after you purchase it. The actual process of purchasing the NFT on launch was very eventful for me. And I'll spend maybe 20 seconds explaining this, but basically I was all set for the launch at 6 a.m. I set my alarm for 5:50. I'm very used to being quick when it comes to checking out. I have a lot of nice shoes, a lot of nice clothes, and it requires acting fast on websites at launch. I also had expected that this NFT launch was going to be over allocated because a lot are. That means that there are more invite codes given out than there are NFTs available. The reason that an organization launching an NFT might do this is to ensure that the NFT is fully subscribed. In this case, McLaren did not over allocate the NFT, and that was news, that was music to my ears, because I really wanted to make sure that I got one. 5:50 in the morning for a 6 a.m. launch, I don't have internet access. My wife is away on work travel. Now I'm calling her, is Comcast down? Apparently it is. Well, can I do this on my phone? I'm downloading apps. I cannot get the apps to link together properly. Can I make my phone a mobile hotspot? I need a subscription. Can you add a subscription to make my phone a mobile hotspot? Yes. Now I've lost connectivity to my phone. Power off, power on. Oh look, I can create a mobile hotspot. Oh look, I can buy my NFT. I was 10 minutes late, but because I was guaranteed an NFT, I actually got one. If this had been an over-allocated NFT and it was incredibly popular, I would have been very, very angry at Comcast. As it stands, we are 1 to 2 days into this launch, probably a day and a half, and there's a process for how they're actually going to fill all of the spots. You could say it is invite only. It's not just to McLaren owners, they get the first crack at it. At present, there are about 700 minted NFTs out of the total 2012. All right, so now that we've gone over the high-level project information, let's look at the process to actually buy an NFT from the McLaren NFT Marketplace. This may not be that useful to most of you if you did not get an access code, and I don't know how long they will be good for, but perhaps this process will be used in this marketplace for future NFT drops, so there is possibly some value to me doing this. I have a screen capture of this process, so I'm gonna watch it on my phone and I'll show it on the screen here and I'll speak to what's going on. Okay, so I am on the McLaren NFT website. There is only one website. It is nft.mclaren.com. Please be careful and make sure that you are on the correct website. There are a lot of scammers out there. I have copied the access code from my email. I am now connecting my wallet to MetaMask. The website is a little bit glitchy still. The Ethereum that I had in my MetaMask was not actually showing up here in the wallet, but in the end that actually did not prevent me from purchasing the NFT. So you can see buy now. I enter the code. I had an accidental extra space on the end. I took it off and the code was valid. The price was 0.5 Ether, which is about 1,088 US dollars at the time. Gas fees for the Ethereum network are expensive. In the end, it ended up being 0.6475 Ether to purchase this NFT. I did it using the linked MetaMask. And now it says the process may take up to 7 minutes to complete. So I won't make you wait around for that. But let's fast forward to when the NFT is minted. All right, and now my NFT has been minted. It is this satin black McLaren P1 that you see here. It says my order was successful. I guess I take that back. The NFT hasn't been minted until I follow through with hitting the view and mint NFT. But it has been paid for. So it shows that I am the owner, but it has not been minted yet, so I'm going to hit this mint NFT button. I'm gonna say continue with MetaMask and mint the NFT to MetaMask. It said an error has occurred, a little concerning. I think I just tried it again. And it says that it is minting the MSO Lab Genesis and it's being confirmed on the blockchain. And when it's complete, it says you can view it on OpenSea. So I got number 779. And you can see it has these attributes. The body color is Saragon Quartz. The brake calipers are Volcano Red. It is a P1 and it is from the Lab Studio. So I will talk about the different categories and attributes, but that is basically it for how an NFT is minted using the McLaren NFT Marketplace. Okay, now that we've purchased the McLaren NFT from the McLaren NFT Marketplace, there's one aspect of this that's sort of cool that you get through the McLaren Marketplace that you do not get through OpenSea. And I want to show you that. If I look at my 779 NFT, you'll see this unlockable content. And there is an image, a MP4 video file, and another image. And you'll see that these are actually very large files. 35.9 megabytes. That is super duper cool. I really like that, and I wish, or I hope I should say, that the McLaren NFT Marketplace unlocks these files for secondary OpenSea purchases so that you can see the NFTs that you purchase in all their glory if you buy them on OpenSea. I believe that's a feature they said is coming in the Discord chat, but I'm honestly not sure. I really hope it does. Okay, so now that we have our McLaren NFT, let's talk a little bit about the gamification aspect of this. I'm gonna show you some stuff on my laptop. I've got a screen capture going, and we'll go over the features and rarity of this project, as well as the OpenSea marketplace where you can buy and sell these NFTs secondhand. So, per the McLaren NFT website, there are 2012 Genesis Collection NFTs, and of those 2012, 1,000 pieces are Lab Studio, 893 pieces are Lab Studio Plus, 100 pieces are Lab Works, 5 pieces are Lab Icons, and 14 pieces are Lab Honorary, which have been gifted to members of the MSO Lab community and were not available for mint. So now let's go to the OpenSea marketplace. And let me just say that having spent a day or two immersed in this environment, I completely see now why NFTs became such a craze and how they can be so addicting. It's really fun to try to find the car with the features that you want, potentially the rarity, and for the right price. And I've gone a little bit crazy, so here's my collection. When I first started, I was hoping to have just one works car, which is one of the 100 pieces. And at present I have 3. So I've gone a little bit nuts. I've got 9 cars total. I realized I can't just keep buying, so I have listed 2 of them for sale, but the plan is never to sell out. I will trade around to get what I want, but at the end of the day, these are absolutely long-term holds for me. So let's look at an example. The last one that I bought was number 1993. It is a GTR, which is 1 of 100. And you can see here the properties. So there's all these different features. The numbers percent-wise are gonna change because the entire project has not been minted yet. But statistically speaking, it's probably roughly accurate with respect to order of magnitude how rare a trait is. So being a P1 GTR, only 4% have that trait. That's because in the end there's only going to be 100 of these. As another example, this is the first P1 GTR that I bought. You could say I overpaid for it versus the current present market. It's very volatile, but long term, I think this is a great pickup because it is a Papaya Spark GTR. And you can see here as an example, the livery Cirrus Gray, 0.21% have this trait. I believe what's happening is there's 2 of each car, and one of them is satin and one of them is gloss for the paint. That appears to be what they've done with the GTRs. So for a certain livery, you're only gonna see 2. One will be gloss, one will be satin. If we look at the marketplace now, and you wanna find this project, you would search McLaren, and it should be the first result, MSO Lab Genesis. You wanna look for the blue check mark. You can see there's other projects that try to knock things off. You do not wanna go to those. That is not the real thing. At present, 975 have been minted. That's about half. The floor price has actually fallen beneath the mint price of 0.5. And this pokes at an interesting aspect of NFTs and what I think is ultimately going to happen here. I'll get into the investing side of this towards the end of the video, but if you want to see what's available for sale, typically by default price is listed low to high, and you can see what's available. If you click in, you can get more details. Let's see if there's something I like that we can just examine a bit more. I think I'll just illustrate another feature since I'm a big fan of the P1 GTRs. You can actually filter this for model and select P1 GTR, and now we should see all of the P1 GTRs for sale, price lowest to highest. So there's one right now listed for 2.1. I am tapped out. I'm going to stop purchasing, but if anybody's watching this and you want a deal, buy this. So I'm not going to purchase something now, but I will cut to a screen capture that I took before of purchasing a P1 GTR so you can see the process on OpenSea. Okay, so this is how I bought the P1 GTR. Search for the project,
filter for the model that I'm looking for. Select the car that I want. You could make an offer. I chose to buy it now because I really wanted this one. Check out. I believe my MetaMask account is already linked. That's actually how you sign into OpenSea. You don't create a login, you just link it directly to your MetaMask account. Or wallet, I should say. Takes a minute, and your purchase is processing. Takes another minute. Complete. And that's it. So if I refresh the page, it should show that I am now the owner. And it does, owned by you. And if I look at my profile, I can see that it is now mine. And that's it. That's how you purchase through OpenSea.
All right, so some closing thoughts in no particular order related to the gamification, the investing, the culture around this that I find very fascinating. When I first started buying some of these, I had this weird sense of relief that I could get something cool that I wanted that I could share with others universally around the globe very easily via existing platforms. And I did not have to create physical storage space for it in my house. If you've seen my other videos, you know I have a problem when it comes to collecting shoes, when it comes to collecting jackets. I just don't have enough space for my stuff. And so to be able to buy something that I think is super cool and not need the space for it is actually a selling point for someone like me. Now, a lot of people look at the flip side and say, well, you don't actually have anything. An NFT isn't anything. And I thought about this. And if you've seen my other investing videos, you know, I like to explore. I tend to think outside the box. I like to view things from other people's perspective. If the entire world is hooked on this and I don't get it, maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. And in this case, having experienced it, here's what I've personally come to by way of conclusions. What makes a Travis Scott sneaker worth $4,000 when it was built in a Nike factory in China, and another shoe off that same assembly line sells for $200 retail? It's not the materials. At the end of the day, the most expensive stuff that people buy in hype culture has nothing to do with the underlying raw materials. It's about the origin, the pedigree, the authenticity, the chain of custody. And that's why counterfeits that are made of the same quality aren't actually worth anything. And so if you take that concept at a high level and think about it, NFTs have found a way to efficiently monetize and exchange on a global scale the culture around hype and authenticity that you have with physical products, except they've dropped the physical product out of it. I actually think that's genius. I see benefit to that, and the value comes from the creator blessing the project. If the creator is the one that created it and they've built a project for the long term and they've gone about developing it correctly and they plan to stick with it over time, it's speculative, but that's where the hope for long-term value comes in. I think that projects that are created and left for dead generally are not going to have the same level of success when you look at it at a macro level. And that's part of why I like the McLaren project, because it looks like, at least from the words that they've said, that they're committing to this Web 3.0 long term. From an investing side, this is pretty interesting because once you're in this ecosystem, everything else kind of falls away. You play by the rules of this project, meaning Ethereum value can go up and down, and at this time crypto kind of crashed, bottomed, but when you're exchanging Ether for the cars, you're buying it for one and selling it for two. It's that simple. And when it comes to McLaren's, this project just launched. I don't think most McLaren owners even know that they could buy on the secondary market right now. So if you're watching this video, no joke, go hop on OpenSea, check it out, because I think that once this gets into the hands and common knowledge of McLaren owners, first of all, they have expendable income, they're well educated, they like cool stuff. At the end of the day, this is cool. I like cool stuff. I like this, therefore this is cool. There are a lot more McLaren owners out there than the 2,000 NFTs available at present. I tend to view things agnostic of time, so I think way long term from here, it might take years, but generally if McLaren commits to NFTs, and this is the first NFT and there's only 2,000, long term there's nowhere for this to go but up. At present, you have people who maybe don't appreciate that, who aren't McLaren owners. The phase 2 and 3 parts of this mint are going to go to people who are involved in the NFT space. They're not going to be as committed to holding. They're going to have, as people say, paper hands. And so there's going to be an opportunity during this window to buy NFTs from flippers who have no wish to hold this long term. Once this gets in the hand of real owners who support the brand and want the additional access that these NFTs provide, they're going to hold them. And what happens when you hold something? Supply dwindles. If people want it, the price goes up. So I've seen this with shoes that are popular. I think that this project is going to be popular. I think that long-term these NFTs are just going to trend up and stay up. As I've said, I plan to hold my favorites long-term. There's also an element of trading involved here just because I realize I don't have unlimited funds to buy up the whole project as much as I would like to. So I've purchased a number of cars already that I really did like, but I think I'm going to have to pick and choose my favorites to keep and let the others go at prices that are reasonable. The one thing that you won't see me doing is scraping the floor. I purchased the NFTs I bought for a reason, and I'll let them go at a fair price, but I'm not fire selling them. And the more people that do that, the better this project will do. In the end, the trading aspect is fun, and it'll help me find more of what I want and also give more of what other people want to them, because we don't all have the same taste. And if you've seen McLarens at a Cars and Coffee and you've spoken to McLaren owners, you already know that. I think that that's about it. This video is probably very long at this point. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. Once again, if this video was useful to you, please hit the like button to help the algorithm, and I will see you at the next one.